And now it's my pleasure to introduce our panelists for today's broadcast. We are joined today by Gavin Parrish, who is Managing Director with Control Risks. Gavin is responsible for overseeing a broad range of investigative and litigation support matters, including international investigations, fraud, corruption, and antitrust investigations. He has a particular specialization in investigations and compliance consulting, implicating anti-corruption legislation such as the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Gavin is a frequent speaker at international conferences on corruption and compliance issues, and has lived and worked across much of Latin America over the past 20 years. We're also joined today by Cristina Camano, Director of Advisory Services at Radius. Fluent in English and Spanish, Cristina specializes on international expansion within the Americas region, with expertise in a wide variety of cross-border issues, including entity structures, accounting and reporting requirements, HR, tax, intellectual property, and corporate governance. Over to you, Gavin.
Thanks very much, Ed. It's a tough act to follow with that amazing radio voice, but I will do my best. I wanted to start just to put forward an agenda. We have a limited time today, but wanted to accomplish a few things. First, contextualize discussion a little bit and bring in some notes and commentary on sort of the current political realities we're seeing, at least in the major economies in Latin America. The heart of the discussion will be around the second point, and that's really the compliance and regulatory frameworks and really the evolving landscape we're seeing in the region, with an emphasis on corruption and antitrust compliance. And then finally, we'll talk a bit about elements of compliance programs where we see our clients struggle in Latin America achieving robust and strong compliance programs, and what we're seeing in response to the evolving landscape that we will have described during the course of this webinar. So next slide. Just a word about control risks. Some of the audience may be less familiar with who we are as an organization. We're an independent risk consultancy that's been around since about 1975, based in London with 36 offices around the world. We tend to be in locations where our clients are either making decisions with respect to risk or on the ground where they're facing risk, and sometimes both. We tend to specialize in three main categories of risk: political risk, what we call integrity risk, and security risk. Political risk, really with an eye towards helping our clients understand the shifting political sands that may affect their investment around the world, everything from high-level, macro-level, national decision-making in jurisdictions around the world, all the way to very granular analysis, sort of local communities, local stakeholders, particularly in situations when our clients are making significant upfront investments, and the return on those investments may only come in years or decades. On the integrity risk side, that's where we sit with our compliance team, where we conduct significant compliance-related reviews, investigations, intelligence gathering, and a technology team that informs much of the investigative work that we do. And finally, security risks, everything from kidnap response work to crisis management planning to security design solutions to ensure that our clients are able to protect their both physical assets, their people, and their information around the world. We are independently owned, majority controlled by current employees and former employees, which gives us freedom to make some tough calls and judgments on behalf of our clients. Next. This is a slide, and I want to start off with a few words on the political situation in the major economies, primarily Mexico, Brazil, and Colombia. The visual you're seeing here outlines our high-level views on two key aspects. One, the security situation in the region, which is depicted by the color schemes on the slide, and the political risk situation that we're observing in the region, which is depicted by the low, medium, and high letters in each country. We have a full version and analysis of this report on our website, so I won't go into individualized analysis, but would encourage listeners, to the extent they're interested, to visit the controlrisk.com website and download a full version of the report.